Okay, so to get some anticipation out of this ball, we need to give ourselves some more keyframes because I don't think we've got the space for that. So we need to shift everything that we've done up to this point down a bit. Okay, so let's give the animation a slightly longer duration to 240. I'm not expecting that we'll actually use all 240 frames, but I want to be careful and cautious that we have the space for it. So let's just select everything in the timeline and we'll just drag it out. Let's drag it out 15 frames to start. Okay, so basically everything sits still, nothing happens for 15 frames, and then it starts to bounce. Okay, so we're going to start with, on the squash here, select the scale Y. So what we want here is we want to telegraph, we want to tell the viewer in advance that the ball is going to jump, and then give them that jump. That's the idea behind anticipation. So what we got to do is we got to build up the energy of the bounce and then release it into the bounce. So we're going to do that with squash and stretch. Oops, I set the key in the wrong thing. So I have my ball squash transform selected there. Selected the scale Y in the channel box. Key selected. We'll go out a few frames, say just 3 frames, and pull the ball down. Give it some squash. Key selected. And off it goes, just like that. Alright, let's play blast it. I'll pick a better angle, that wasn't very good. Sorry about that. Let's see, is that too quick? Or too long, I should say? Yeah, I think so. Alright, I also think it's not enough anticipation. So we're gonna go here to our keyframe, and instead of sitting there and playing with this, we'll move the marker to where the keyframe is, and then just, oops, W, drag down, pull that sucker in, maybe give it another 2 frames to get down there. So, boing. And let's break tangent, give it a little bit more so we hold that squash. Boom. Looks like a good release of energy. And we'll pull this back into, say, frame 70-ish. And play blast. Let's see, was that goofy? Something funny going on there. Is it the camera angle? Maybe. Hold on. Is there a hitch? I'm sorry to make you guys kind of watch this, but I think what you're seeing here is process, and I think it's important to see how to look at your work to critique it. So I'm looking over and over at the spot that bothers me. Alright. I think it takes too long to get that anticipation up off. Boing. Yep, I think that's exactly what it is. So let's take a look here. So we started that at frame 15. So we're going to scrunch that back. Let's shave 5 frames off of that. If you don't know how I'm selecting all those keys in the timeline, either look it up or ask me. Shoot me an email. Hopefully that's stuff that you would have learned in Maya 1, but Maya's big software, so if you didn't learn that, that's okay. It's school. You're allowed to ask questions. Alright. That's better. Now I'm starting to think that first jump takes too long to hit. Let's compare the jump time. So translate Y. So we start our jump at frame 11. We hit at 39. So that is 28 frames to make the connection. The next jump happens from the hold 40. That's 29 frames. So it's actually shorter. Interesting. I don't know, it still feels a little long to me. I'm going to leave it alone for now. But it's on my radar if I still think it's wrong. Let's try and get some rotation in now. Because that's the next thing here is this ball. One thing that we got to watch here is these stripes, okay? So we got to pay attention. Oh my, I'm going to turn this motion blur off. This is getting obnoxious. We'll put it on a little bit later. All right, so the stripes on the ball, they tell us, what the orientation of the ball is, right? So we've got basically stripes going up and down it that tell us where the ball's pointing. So when you see a ball bounce, you know it kind of rolls because you've got that forward momentum of this pushing it along our x-axis here, right? Our x-axis is the red axis, so we know that there's some momentum pushing it, and we're assuming that that force isn't perfectly balanced on the back of the ball here. If it's up a little, it's going to roll the ball forward. If it's down a little, it's going to roll it backwards. So we need to decide what's forcing this ball to roll and tell our audience because they're expecting it. Their brain is looking at this going, hey, all right, so I see a ball, it's bouncing, I see it's got some mass, but what's pushing on it? Which direction? Is it the top half or the bottom half? Because the chances of it being right on the center, pretty low. Oh, that's interesting. But yeah, we got to solve that problem. So let's get to it.